Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggi, and joining me from Arizona is Derek. Again, how you doing tonight, Derek?
Pretty good, man. How you been?
No, not too bad. Just dealing with my allergies.
You're lying. You have two snakes loose in your house.
Yes, I do.
About?
My daughter caught two garter snakes last night, two tiny ones, but they managed to both escape. And they're
when
running.
you say tiny, how small?
One of them was probably only about 4 inches long. It was a little skinny, little tiny. Must have been almost like a baby one, and the other one was just a little bit bigger than that. So they weren't. I mean, the bigger one was probably about like that, and the other one was about like that. So I mean, they were little.
Just burn it down and start over.
Yeah, I've torn my bedroom apart trying to find the second one, and the first one got loose in her room. And
yeah, that's scary, man. That's scary.
Who knows?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we got a long show tonight. We got a heck of a show going on.
Trish is joining us from YouTube again tonight from Hutch, and Lori from Hayes, and Lisa is watching from Galesburg, Illinois.
Justice for Megan.
Yeah, Megan Fogelsong.
Wow, all the way from Illinois.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Share the show out. We'd love to see as many of our friends as possible tonight. We are on a little late.
Yeah. Just a little, not too bad.
Yeah,
so there's a lot to prep for tonight. Trust me.
Right. Well, I guess we won't wait too long. We have a guest tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and bring that guest on. Ricky, I guess before we bring her on, tell us a little bit about our next guest. And
well, last August, I did a flyer for this young lady. She was missing last August, and she was located, and then she went missing again last November and was located again. And she reached out to me last night because she wanted a copy of her flyer because she wanted to do a post last night talking about her experience in running away. And we got to talking a little bit, during the course of the conversation about the flyer and stuff like that, and asked her if she would like to come on tonight and talk about her experience in running away. And she said, yeah, sure. And so she's here with us tonight, and her name is Omega Evans.
I'll go ahead and bring Omega on.
Go ahead and bring her on.
Hello.
Hey, Omega, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for coming on tonight.
You're welcome.
So I guess tell us. Ricky had sent me a screenshot of this post. It's probably way too small for the
it might be
for the people to see. But I guess tell us what did you mean to say in this post? I guess what is the main purpose of this post that you made?
The post was mainly because I keep seeing teens and other people come up missing, and a lot of the teens that are missing right now are most likely in foster care. And I was recently in foster care and I aged out. And back in November 18th, 2020, I ran because I was running mainly from myself, because I was self-harming. I didn't know what to do. The home I was at wasn't the best either. They refused to get me help. And I kept begging them, like, yo, y'all need to get me some help. If I don't, what am I going to do? Continue? Most likely. So I ran. I was supposed to come visit my mom in Lawrence. And I didn't even get to see my mom because I took off. Well, that was November 18th. So I was staying with a friend for a few days. Then I went to Kansas City, Kansas, with a guy by the name of Travis McDonald. Well, he was very abusive. So I left him and got caught up in a lot of different stuff. There's a woman with the name of Brianna Sarad. She and her, I think now ex-boyfriend, were trying to sell me in a sex trafficking ring. And it really broke my heart when I found that out because I thought I could trust her. Well, from that point, I met a guy by the name of Daniel Centellin through her. Well, his house was raided by the police. It was what they would call a drug bust. And I tried lying, saying that my name was Lucy Wilson, which is my best friend I stayed with originally when I first went back on the run. And it was pretty hard because I didn't want to go back to foster care, but I also knew where I wasn't safe.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that because we do so many flyers and repeated flyers for people. And people always ask us in the chat, like, why do these kids keep running? And one thing that's a common denominator with a lot of these runners is they are in foster care. I guess give us like a firsthand experience. Why are so many people running away from foster care?
Getting ripped from your parents' arms. First time I was in foster care, I was 6. So just being away from people you love, people you even don't know how to feel about, but you've lived with them almost your whole life or whatever, it's really difficult. And a lot of teenagers go back to their parents when they go on the run. But it was one of those things that it just depends. It depends on the person and their situation.
So as okay, I don't know your situation, but as somebody who was removed from a parent, and these are probably based more on people because we've showed us a few flyers before the show, and you knew a lot of these people on our flyers, and you've met them at foster care and places like that. What are the thoughts on that? Because you have kids basically being separated from their parents, and then they go to foster care. And then they run away and they go back to their parents, but somehow that's bad. Like, what is the thought process on, like, how do these kids feel when they're being punished for just going home?
Well, so being put in foster care can be the child's fault or the parent's fault, or it can be both. So from that, if it's the parent's fault, that's why we get in trouble for going back to our parents. Now, if it's our fault, yeah, we still get in trouble. It's not as bad, though. So people just don't think about it like that. So when the parents' abusive, they know how to manipulate their children into coming back.
Is it easy or hard to run? Because, like, a person that doesn't know anything about it, you would just assume, like, okay, Omega's like hiding behind like a store or something. I mean, you don't know where you go, but like, do you have to have like a network of people that are going to keep a secret? And kind of where do you go initially when you take off? Like, because we don't know, we just see these people take off. We have no idea if they're like hiding somewhere in the woods, or if somebody's like, what is your initial thing when you take off?
So with me personally, I come up with a plan. I have friends who I know will house me for a fact, and then I contact them after I do it. So that way they can't get in trouble for knowing about it. Because even if you don't know that the person's on the run, but if you do know, especially, it's called aiding and abetting, and that's a felony. So, it's one of those things that people can't house people, but you have to really have a plan. Some people don't. Right. Some people do live in the woods, like unreal.
Right. Yeah. So, like, I guess, looking in hindsight, well, I guess catch everybody up. Like, so you get in trouble. Well, you don't really get in trouble. The person you're staying with gets in trouble with the law. So how do you? And then you like eventually you're telling us you turned 18. So how does that sort of happen? You're in foster care. Then you were telling me the day you turned 18, it was kind of like, well, have a good one. Like, what was that situation with? When are you the state's issue? And then when are you no longer the state's issue where they're just like, okay, see ya?
So every state is different. So like the state of Kansas, you can be until you're 22 and a half, and then they have no choice but to release you. But there's also the fact that you have to be, if you're 18 or 21 or 22, You can ask to be removed from foster care, and it's all up to the judge.
Yeah, there's a process you have to go through. Yep.
I had to handwrite out a letter, sign it, and have my plan written out on it.
Right.
Saying I'm gonna be on my meds, I'm gonna do therapy, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And I signed it, and I think I had a good enough plan. Like my judge finally said, "Okay, so you're trying to get your life together." So
that's awesome. So what do you do like because again we deal with missing people all the time, but we're not super close. You know, Ricky had a daughter that was missing for like half a day, and it scared the bejesus out of him.
Yeah, it did.
But you know, it's like we're not super close to this. So whenever you turned 18 and you sort of were on your own, like what kind of were there any resources that you were told about or offered as far as, you know, making sure that you stay on a good path?
Yes. So there's this thing called aftercare benefits with foster care, but you have to age out to get them. You get free college, completely free. They pay for the fees, tuition, everything. So you're 21. You get free medical insurance.
That's cool.
So you're 21. You get a lot of and you even get, if you, depending on the situation and depending on what home you go to, is mainly what the benefits depend on. Me personally, I was in independent living for the last couple months. I was in foster care. So I was called a DCFIL caseworker, and I would get $700 a month if I had a full-time job right now.
Wow.
For anything I could possibly ever need or want. I get $1,200 for car repairs if I had a vehicle and the license. I get $600 for first month's rent and deposit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know. I thought it was just like, well, it was nice helping you out. Now that you're 18, see you later. I mean, that's really great that there's a ton of resources for you and stuff.
And I think that's really like a newer thing, because back when I was first in foster care when I was 6, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up a couple comments real quick. Last night when we were talking, I sent you that link to the thing that said Omega is safe, that article. And that Lawless from Cake News actually wrote that article for her Missing in Kansas segments that she does. And she's actually commented. She said she's so glad to see you're on here tonight. And it's wonderful to see you're doing okay. And then she asked, what are your plans from here on out?
My plan to help my nieces, 4 beautiful nieces, the oldest is 7, to help them realize that what they're going through with their parents isn't the end of the world, the way I thought it was.
Yeah.
I want them to achieve every dream, so I'm going to do what I can to be the best role model for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting a job, going to college, stuff like that. Anything to make my nieces say, she did it, and her life was a complete wreck.
Yeah. And I know some kids do run because they don't necessarily agree with mom or dad's rules, and they're just like, well, I'm not putting up with that. I'm out of here. You know?
I was going to ask you that. Do you feel like that a lot of that is that foster parents are mean people, or do you feel like it's the mixture of they're trying to keep things with some sort of law and order and some sort of structure, which has been proven? I have bipolar disorder, and I know that if I don't have structure, I'm not firing on all cylinders. So I see how a lot of foster parents try to instill that structure into, you know, like the way we do things. But is it literally just there's too much tough love from foster parents, so kids are like, I want to get out of here, this is boring? Or is it like that it's something deeper than that some foster parents are like rude and mean and not nice to these kids?
It can be both, actually. A lot of foster parents are just in it for the money.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I've been told that by a foster parent in the past.
Really?
That they're in it for the money. But my thing is, if they're going to do what they do for the money, don't do it. Because you're going to end up being the meanest, and possibly abusive foster parent. But yeah, a lot of it, a combination.
And I don't, and honestly, anybody that does it for the money, that's just something I don't get. Like, there's a lot of things you can do for money that are, I mean, first of all, you're taking a child away from their parents. So that's just going to put them in a very vulnerable emotional state. And then you're trying to get along. Like, I can't imagine that's easy money to earn as a foster parent. Like when you have I don't know many foster kids that have like it was great at my foster home. You know, it wasn't like necessarily bad, but it's like there's a lot of tension because there's a lot of, like, me and Ricky talk. He has 2 daughters, and there's tension in his house. Every household where you have teenagers and adults, there's tension. When you have 2 people that don't know each other, it's added tension. So,
go ahead. If you recall, my daughters were both adopted from foster care. We adopted them when we were doing foster care. So, I was a foster parent for a time.
But I mean, you've had your girls forever, and
they were little.
It's evolved. Being a teenager and then being a parent of a teenager is a double learning experience. I think for everybody involved. Yeah. But we do got to get onto some cases. But Omega, it's been awesome that you stopped by. What advice do you have because we actually know that a lot of people on the flyers we post watch this show. Like they'll contact us later and tell us some stuff. What do you say to anybody that might be on the show tonight that might be out there on the lam?
Get help now. Don't wait. Don't do anything stupid, especially if you're with anybody who does drugs or anything, because they are dangerous people. They will do anything to either hurt you or hurt people you love if you do them wrong. Yeah. Get to the nearest police station, turn yourself in, and go back to where you were.
And well, I wanted to ask you too. So, say you're in a position where you're not happy with your foster care. I mean, but to me, and again, I wouldn't have been able to do this when I was 16, 17 years old. But as a 38-year-old man, I'm just like, wow, even if you're in a place that you don't like the rules, you don't get along with it's a place to sleep at night, and you can work on yourself, because when you turn 18, the rules change. You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah. You can go to school, you can get a job, you can live in the park, whatever you want to do at 18, it's like you can do it. So, I don't know. I think that a lot of people should realize that, going, like you're saying, going back and just sort of working on yourself. Nobody's saying you have to have a great time, but go back, be somewhere safe where we know where you are. And because me and Ricky know there's so many people that are missing right now, and it's scary. Oh yeah.
It is scary, and I just hope someone listens to my advice.
Yeah, that's good advice. I hope they do too. I mean, this is a voice of experience.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. Well, we appreciate you stopping by the show. Ricky, did you have any final questions or?
No, and I'm just really glad she joined us tonight. And I'm glad she reached out to me last night and asked for that flyer. And, it was really cool. I don't get that too often, but that was really nice of you to do.
Yeah, it made Ricky's day. Yeah, well, Omega, it was nice meeting you. Feel free to reach out to Ricky's page anytime. Let us know how you're doing. We're pulling for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to hang out while we're covering cases if you want to, or whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do. All right. We'll see you back. We were watching the Kansas Missing Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888.
All right. That was actually amazing. I'm glad she joined us tonight.
That was awesome.
Yes, it was. We're going to start off with Aaron Horn. He is missing from Atchison, Kansas since May 21st of 2021. 17 years old. He's 5'5", weighs 120 pounds. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Aaron's disappearance, of his whereabouts, please call the Atchison, Kansas Police Department at 913-367-4323 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 800-843-5678.
And just for those podcast listeners and live viewers, Ricky is a little under the weather with some allergies.
So. Yeah, stupid allergies.
He's just you can kind of hear it in his voice a little bit tonight, but he's rocking and rolling with us. But he's not sick. He's just got some allergies.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't have a sneezing fit while we're doing these tonight.
You remember you have a mute button, right? You just click that
Yeah.
microphone next to your face.
Yeah, I don't want to blow anybody's ears out.
Norm on the show, he always lifts his mic to cough and stuff. I'm like, you have a mute button, Norm. Like, he's figuring it out.
I'm getting there.
So let's talk about Alexandra Homer.
All right.
I feel like we've covered her before.
We might have. I don't honestly remember.
Right.
But she's missing from Parsons, Kansas since May 14th of 2021. I think I might have added a picture or two. I don't remember now, but I think I did. She's been missing since May 14th, 2021. She's 16 years old. She is 5'7" to 5'8", weighs between 140 and 150 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes, and it's believed she may be in the McCune or Pittsburgh, Kansas areas. If you have any information regarding Alexandra's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Parsons, Kansas Police Department 620-421-7060 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. I hope you guys didn't hear my daughter yelling at my dog in the background.
I just heard like a,
yeah,
I didn't hear much.
Yeah, she's like, Maya, which is my little chihuahua.
So this has been 2 months almost coming on.
Yeah.
And about 13. I think we have covered her.
Yeah, and I think I was asked to reshare it because they're really trying to get information on her.
Yeah. Okay.
Why isn't she?
If anybody's seen her, contact Kansas Missing Unsolved page, or go ahead and reach out to the KBI. A lot of people you can contact. Now this one's kind of there were so many pictures, so I put as many as I could on here. We were in a very crunch time tonight, so pardon for the way this flyer looks, but go ahead with Amanda Ann.
Yeah, we're going to travel out of state for her, and I got to find her on my list here. Got so many of them. Okay, Amanda Ann I guess it's DeGio. I'm going to go with that. She's missing from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, since June 3rd of 2014. She was 24 when she was missing. She's 31 now. She is 5'1" to 5'3" inches tall, 100 to 120 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. She was, as I mentioned, went missing from Drexel Hill on June 3rd, 2014. She was last seen on June 3rd, 2014. After she returned home from a family trip to Disney World in Florida, she left her mother's home without her cell phone, credit cards, or extra clothes and never returned. She didn't drive at the time of her disappearance, and it's unclear how she left. About a week after Amanda went missing from her family home, she allegedly picked up a prescription for OxyContin at a pharmacy that had been prescribed for someone else. As a result, a warrant was issued for her arrest for identity theft and receiving stolen property. She had a prior record for retail theft. Authorities believe she was involved with prostitution at the time of her disappearance. Her sister found an escort advertisement for Amanda's services on the website Backpage.com, which we all know that's a notorious page for sex work ads as well as trafficking ads. She's been known to frequent the Upper Darby, Clifton Heights, and Overbrook neighborhoods of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She suffers from bipolar. She became addicted to opiates after she suffered complications from childbirth and was prescribed a painkiller Percocet. By the time of her disappearance, she reportedly progressed to heroin. Amanda has been known to leave for several days at a time, but she's never been gone for this long, and she kept in touch with her mother and 2 younger daughters. Because of her lifestyle, she's presumed to be at risk, and foul play is suspected in her case. She does have the following tattoo, lips on her right buttock, the shape of Italy with the words La Vita Bella in script above it on her right side, the name Tommy under her right breast, the letters SC on her ring finger, and the letters MF on the inside of her lower lip. Her ears are pierced. She has a diagonal surgical scar on her middle upper abdomen. Her teeth were in poor condition at the time of her disappearance. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Upper Darby Township, Pennsylvania Police Department at 610-734-7693. And see if we can't get some information going on her and where she might be or what might have happened to her.
I always get nervous whenever our missing person flyer involves mugshots.
Yeah.
Anytime there's like drugs,
which it looks like
drug addiction and missing people, I just get nervous.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, all you have to say is drugs, prostitution, Percocet.
Yeah.
Nightmare. You just put those 3 things in a room, ruin somebody's life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and it sounds like she progressed to heroin. So
yeah, I mean, it's just though it was a recipe for disaster. And I know as soon as I clicked on this, I'm like, oh, the 2 on the left look like mugshots. So there's obviously some issue with crime. And then you talk about the process. So it's like, it's like it. Amanda was at the. Sounds like she was in a bad spot in her life.
Yeah.
And one thing that I want to point out is like when you're in a spot that low and you go missing, sadly, the people you were probably associating with probably aren't going to be much of help looking for you. I mean, just it depends on the kind of company you keep and stuff. And if she was in the throes of addiction and all that, I mean, who knows if she had a good friend.
Right. I just hope wherever she's at, she's okay and she's safe.
Yeah.
But it's a little worrisome when they fear that foul play might be involved. That's a little worrisome.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
And it's really sad. You see that picture on the far right.
Yeah.
She looks young, healthy, and vibrant. And you go all the way to the left, and it's just like, oh, Amanda.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
Yeah.
Joe Hernandez, Smoke Nation Worldwide out of Phoenix, Arizona, says exactly. Prayers going out. Tell us about Blake
Dwyer. He is missing from Wichita, Kansas since June 26th of 2021. He's 15 years old, 6 foot tall, 150 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen on June 26th at approximately 11 p.m. that evening. If you have any information regarding Blake's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get some information generated as to where he's at so he can get him back to where he needs to be. I mean, 15, shouldn't be out there, running at 15.
No. A little young.
Yeah. A little bit young.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, thank you. Appreciate that. See a friend of yours or?
Yeah, he runs a group here in Phoenix that's really large.
Oh, okay.
Nationwide group, yeah. It's
Cool.
a cannabis group, but he's all about helping us find missing people.
That's
he
good.
Might just be a little stoned when he does it, Ricky. This one I was I get worried when I see people that are a little older that are missing. I saw when I was pulling this one up today, it kind of hit me a little bit. What do we know about this case?
Well, I did some checking before the show to see if this was still accurate that she's missing, and she is. And Blanche Merriam is missing from Independence, Missouri since June 29th, 2021. She's 70 years old. She's 5'4", 180 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. She left her home in the 1000 block of North Cottage Avenue in Independence, Missouri. She's believed to have left on foot in an unknown direction. She has mobility issues and walks very slowly. She does have various medical issues. The clothing she was wearing at the time of her disappearance is unknown. So if you have any information regarding Blanche's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Independence, Missouri Police Department at 816-836-3600. And scanning through the comments on the Independence, Missouri Police Department's Facebook, there was some speculation by some folks in there that she might have been actually abducted at some point, but I don't think there's anything to substantiate that, but somebody seems to think that. So I don't know if there's anything
what is Blanche's mental state like? Is this like a silver alert, or I mean, is this are we worried? Like, is this like somebody who's she doesn't look like she would, be like a silver alert situation where she like got confused and wandered off. Look, I would be kind of like, she looks just like very lucid. So it makes me nervous that, maybe, I don't know anything about the situation, but she doesn't look like somebody who would like get confused and walk away. So it's either she's gone on her own volition or maybe somebody, did something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, she doesn't look like somebody who, and I understand she's 70, but that's not that old. My mom's like 67. Ricky's
Right.
second. No, I'm just kidding, Ricky. No, but
no, not yet.
but
Getting there.
no, I mean, she doesn't. You know, she looks very lucid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me look at. I'm gonna look on the Independence, Missouri's Facebook real quick here, and see what I can find.
Or
yeah,
not.
they issued it as a silver alert. That's why I used
Oh,
the
a
silver
silver
alert. Yeah.
Now, what does silver alert mean? Does that mean like a dementia situation, or does that just mean an elderly person's missing?
I always was under the assumption it was like a senior citizen with medical issues.
See, that's what I thought. Like somebody who might maybe not like dementia, but maybe somebody who gets low oxygen and they lose a little bit of their, their focus. Like I always thought silver alert was like somebody who was elderly, who was needing medical attention, i.e. more than likely confused. But again, I don't know her situation, but looking at her picture, I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe, but if it's a silver alert, that's still very, still very concerning. No.
Yeah. Everything I have on the flyer was what Independence put out, and they didn't say anything about any kind of dementia, Alzheimer's, or anything like that. I looked
Candace
for that.
Ann Dudley says maybe Alzheimer's or dementia. That's what I was thinking too.
It's possible. It's possible.
Beverly Fox Williams says, any of the children found in KC found on your missing list?
I haven't heard names, so I don't know. I don't know if they're going to release names, being that they're juveniles, but I'm sure
Why don't you talk about that real quick?
Yeah. It was a, let me get to that article here real quick here.
Yeah, let's go over that.
I posted it on the page earlier today. They did a big trafficking sting in the Kansas City and Wichita areas, and they just recently wrapped it up. And there we go. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, got it.
And a total of 81, I believe, were arrested.
81 people arrested?
Yeah. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says a recent human trafficking operation in Wichita, Independence, Missouri, and Kansas City, Missouri, resulted in the rescue of 31 human trafficking, including 14 missing children for sexual exploitation. I said in a news release the youngest child was 4 years old, and 17 of the victims were adults. Operation took place June 17th through the 26th and resulted in the arrest of 82 suspects who will be charged with crimes related to the soliciting prostitution, commercial sex trafficking, sodomy, narcotics violations, felony assault on a police officer, sex offender registry violations, and outstanding warrants. No names were released. Let's see. KNBC out of Kansas City reports on Homeland Security in Kansas City, along with HSI Wichita, the Wichita Police Department, the KBI, Kansas Highway Patrol, Health and Human Services, U.S. Marshal Service, Platte County Sheriff's Office, Independence Police Department, Jackson County Sheriff's Department, Missouri State Highway Patrol, the Bourbon County Sheriff's Office, and the Hutchinson Police Department conducted the operation. So lots and lots of law enforcement agencies involved.
First of all, what a great planet we live on, where the sex trafficking, isn't that neat? Anyway, that's just the one that we've caught. Like, if you think about it, how many of these operations are going on that we haven't caught? But what, Ricky, I'm going to say this, dude, and this isn't against, law enforcement or anything. It's because people don't roll over on big people. I think that out of those 81 people that got taken down for this child sex ring that they were going to do and this human trafficking, I guarantee you the big money moving players that were on top of orchestrating that are not going to get in trouble because nobody's going to tell them who they are. They're so removed from it. Like that's what I think. Like, there's all these, you see all these things on Facebook where people are like, save the children, and then it gets political. People are like, well, there's not that much sex trafficking. But if we have what like once every 3 months we hear an article like this, like sex ring busted, human trafficking ring busted. Like, it's happening, and those are just the ones that we're catching. Those are just the ones that we're finding out about. So
I agree with you, though.
I think that there's people in really high places that are keeping that lifestyle and that disgusting, that disgusting thing going. And I think that's the real way to solve it is to get rid of the people on top doing it, and obviously these 81 people, they're disgusting, get rid of them. But it's like there's big people on top making moves. Exactly, like a 4-year-old. Like, what is like?
Yeah, that disgusted me. That just totally just. Oh, okay. I just no words, man. I can't even come up with words. It disgusts me so bad.
Well, I watched this Son of Sam documentary, and the guy who shot up New York City allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, he only if you watch the documentary, spoiler alert, turn it off if you've never seen it and you care. But basically, like the whole gist of the movie is that he didn't act alone. He was just doing something for a cult he was in. But the people who were making the moves, telling him to do it, like one of the people he didn't even kill this person, but he took the hit for it. He's in prison for this murder. He didn't do it, but they walked up and just shot a girl in broad daylight, and turns out it's because it was being filmed by a high profile filmmaker because he was paying a bunch of money by some weirdo billionaire because he wanted to see a snuff film. He wanted to see somebody get murdered.
Yeah.
So and then they also wanted things with children and stuff like that. And they asked this Son of Sam guy, like, why don't you tell everybody? Why don't you tell them their names? And he's like, oh, I can't tell them their names. And everybody's question is like, man, you're in prison. What are they going to do to you? Tell the names of these billionaires that are having you do this stuff. And he's like, oh, well, they'll murder my mom. They'll murder my brother. And that's the truth. Like, that's the same thing with these 81 people. The people that are pulling the strings on all this, they're not going to roll over on them because they'll kill their families. I was just saying, like, there's this evil. It's 81 people having a human trafficking ring. That is small potatoes on what's really going on in the big grand scheme of things. Like it's a horrible, Beverly says human trafficking could be next door. Keep your eyes open. It's
definitely
public hanging. I like this Beverly Fox Williams and how she thinks.
I tell you, a few years back, I'm part of the Sling County Coalition on trafficking. And we had a gal come in and talk to us. She was a trafficking survivor from here in Kansas, and she was talking to us about her experiences. And she was telling us she was trafficked around the Manhattan area. But not only did they traffic her in Manhattan, they took her to the small towns outside of Manhattan because nobody's going to suspect it going on in a small little town. So they would take her to those towns and traffic her out there. And it's just like
it's a lot of enabling. It's not just the people. It's people that know what's going on, people that know this behavior is going on and don't do anything about it.
That blew my mind to hear that, because I never thought of it in that kind of context, and not just sticking to like the big city, but let's get them out to the small communities where people aren't going to think to look,
Right.
But yeah. But I agree with you though. I mean, the 81 or 82 that they got a hold of. I'm sure a certain amount of those are probably John's, but yeah, I agree that they're like low level totem pole guys, and they're not gonna give
henchmen.
up. They're not gonna give up the big dogs.
They're henchmen, low level players.
Whether it's fear of them coming after them for squealing, or there's the snitches get stitches thing or whatever. But
I don't even think it's snitches get stitches. I don't think if you get caught harboring a 4-year-old that you're selling for sex, like, do you want to live? Like, as soon as that article comes out, like, there is no point of walking out in public again if anybody knows that about you.
And eventually it's going to come out who these people were.
Like, honestly, I don't think it's self-preservation. I don't think they're like, oh, I don't want to get hurt for snitching. I think it's like, they'll kill my mom and she has nothing to do with this,
Right.
So
eventually we'll know who the 82 were that were arrested. They'll eventually come out with their names and stuff.
Yeah. But it's just a disgusting thing that starts at the top, man. And I think that I'm getting a little too conspiracy theory, but I do think that there's very powerful people.
And Beverly's right. I mean, it's not just men, because sometimes they will use females that were initially brought in as trafficking victims to turn them into recruiters.
Yep.
So that's very true.
100% true. Mm-hmm. We're going to breeze through a couple cases really quick. We're just going to read the flyer and kind of move forward because we have a lot of cases tonight, but we do want to get everybody on the screen. So let's do about 3 or 4 cases real quick. We'll just read them and then go to the next one. And just pay attention. This is called the Power Hour here on KMU. All right. So tell us about Brian Pennington.
Okay. Yeah. This is a very long list tonight. I got to find him. Where is he at? Oh, there he is at the very top. Brian Pennington is missing from Wichita, Kansas. Is June 11th of 2021. He's 17 years old. He's 5'9", 130 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen at approximately 8:45 on June 11th. If you have any information, or 8:45 p.m., let me clarify that. If you have any information regarding Brian's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452. or 316-263-6011, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't get something going on him. And we've done flyers from the past, and she is again Cherish T.L. Mason. And she's missing from Wichita, Kansas since June 27th of 2021. She's 15 years old. She's 5'4" to 5'5", weighs between 115 and 120 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen at approximately 10:30 p.m. on June 27th, and she is believed to be with Lamia E. Nave, who is also considered a missing endangered runaway. If you have any information regarding Cherish's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And let's go ahead and get Lamia Nave up there too, since they're believed to be together. You have her up there? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Lamia Nave, again, missing since June 27th of 2021. She's 13, 5'7", 170 pounds, black hair and brown eyes, and she was last seen approximately 10:30 p.m. on June 27th, and it's believed that she may be with Cherish Mason, who's also considered a missing endangered runaway. If you have any information regarding Lamia's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017. So if you see either Lamia or Cherish, you see one or the other or both, get that information called in and let them know where they are so they can be found and taken back to where they need to be. Get them back someplace safe.
Okay, up next we got Dante Dupree. Now, we've done flyers for Dante in the past.
Yes, we have. You are correct, sir. And he's missing again since June 22nd of 2021. He was 17 when he went missing. He's now 18. He's 5'9" tall, 165 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Dante is called TJ by his friends. If you have any information regarding Deontay's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call Topeka, Kansas Police Department. It's 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9551 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get some information lined up on him as to where he is and get him back where he needs to be. And hopefully we can do that.
Agreed.
Yes, Agreed. Yes.
Dontavian. I feel we've covered him before, right?
Yeah, and he's on the move again. Dontavian Wade, missing from Topeka, Kansas since June 12th of 2021. He's 17 years old. He's 6'1", 160 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed that he may still be in the local Topeka area or he might be in the Lawrence area. If you have any information regarding Dontavian's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9551 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Dontavian found. Get him back to where he needs to be.
Coming up on a month.
Yeah, getting close.
Tell us about Dylan Titus.
That one was one that I just did right before the show. Annette Lawless actually sent me his information. He's missing from Wichita since June 28th, 2021. He's 20 years old, 5'11", 120, has brown hair and green eyes. He was last seen leaving a hospital on June 28th, 2021. In Wichita, there is concern for his mental health. He does have a tattoo of 3 dots on his left hand between his first finger and his thumb. If you have any information regarding Dylan's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't help get him found and make sure he's all right and safe.
Yeah, that's scary. You get out of the hospital. That's always a fragile time whenever you get out of the hospital, and then to not be seen.
Yeah.
Or the first place you should go is home and rest.
Yeah.
That's a little scary. So yeah, Wichita, keep your eyes peeled. Dylan Titus missing.
Yeah.
Tell us about Elijah Moses Proctor.
Yeah. And we actually covered him before too. And he was found, and now he's on the run again. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since June 29, 2021. He's 15 years old, 5'8", weighs 125 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen on the 29th between 9:30 and 10 o'clock in the morning. If you have any information regarding Elijah's disappearance, his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9478 or 316-263-6011. I'm going to throw one more in there, 316-660-9452 or 785-296-4017, and see if we can't get him found and back to where he needs to be.
Come on, Elijah.
Yeah. I mean, only being 15 and out there running, not necessarily the best idea.
Way too hot to be outside.
Oh, yeah. Humid. Ew.
It's nasty outside everywhere. Let's talk about Heaven Kaler.
Alrighty. I'm going to find her flyer here.
From Fort Scott, Kansas.
Oh, sorry about that.
Allergies are getting the best of Ricky, folks.
Starting to. Missing from Fort Scott, Kansas since June 24th, 2021. She's 17 years old. She's 5'7" to 5'10". She weighs between 130 and 140 pounds. She has black, excuse me, dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Heaven's disappearance or of her whereabouts, please call the Fort Scott, Kansas Police Department at 620-223-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See if we can't help get her found. Sorry about the sneezes, guys.
Trying your best, buddy. Trying your best. Now, that was our power hour. We did cover a lot of cases. Need I remind you, though, all of the cases we cover are pulled strictly from the Facebook page. So if you have any of those flyers you want to look at deeper, just go check out the Facebook page, and then by all means share those flyers. By the way, you can go to patreon.com/KMUpod if you want to get some perks. And also check out Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast on all the podcast platforms out there that if you use it, we probably are on it. So just look for Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Let's talk about this Jane Doe case real quick.
Okay. This was one that somebody brought to my attention not too awful long ago, and read through it and decided to go ahead and make a flyer for it. It's an unidentified female. They're estimating she's between 14 to 17 years old. Her remains were found on June 18th of this year in Wharton County, Texas. And around 10 o'clock in the morning, they were found near County Road 225 near Hungerford, Texas. The remains were taken to the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office for further investigation and autopsy. The remains were too badly decomposed to determine her race, but the girl had dark brown to black hair, at least shoulder length, and was believed to be about 14 to 17 years old. The autopsy showed she'd been dead for several weeks, maybe even months. She had been shot multiple times in the head. She had 3 silver rings on her hands. One ring had 2 hearts, and the other had white stones. They're right there in the picture. She was wearing a T-shirt with the Disney character Stitch, along with the word Ohana in blue. The victim was also wearing shorts with images of coffee mugs and donuts and a lightweight tan hooded jacket with the brand name Love Tree. Investigators do not think she is a local girl. Deputies are now checking for potential matches of missing persons across the region and the U.S. Investigator says it's possible that she was a human trafficking victim brought to Wharton County, and her family has no idea. If you have any information on this case, or you recognize the rings or the clothing or you could help identify the girl, please call Wharton County, Texas Sheriff's Office at 979-532-1550. See if we can't help get her identified.
Do you know if they got any DNA?
I haven't heard anything on that yet. I'm sure they're going to probably do that.
Yeah, I mean that's sad. My niece is 14, man.
Yeah.
Imagine someone shooting her, man. What is wrong with this world?
Yeah, shot multiple times in the head.
Wow. Well, tell us about Jeremy Samuel Veal. We have covered this fella a couple times. 15-year-old with a mustache. I didn't get a mustache till I was like 21, but anyway.
Just a few times. He's missing from Oswego, Kansas since June 26th of 2021. He's 15 years old. He's 5'5" tall, weighs 185 pounds. He has dark brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed he may be in the North Topeka area. If you have any information regarding Jeremy's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Oswego, Kansas Police Department at 620-795-2131 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Jeremy located again and back to where he needs to be. Oh, Irene Perez is in the house. So let's go ahead and cover Alex's fly real fast for her. Missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st, 2020. He's 35 years old. He's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds. Black hair that he shaves pretty much bald and brown eyes. He last contacted a family member via telephone on December 1st and advised he'd be coming to their home to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and Alexander has not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. Alexander had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City, Kansas, or surrounding area. Alexander, again, he's 35, he's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, has black hair that he shaves off, and brown eyes. He has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He also has Perez tattooed on one of his arms, and he also has that tattoo going along his collarbone there. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get him found and back to where he needs to be.
Any updates, Irene?
You're very welcome, Irene. Anything we can do to help.
Yeah, Irene, let us know if there's any updates because I've been really having you on my thoughts lately. You had said that they had some news for you that was bad news, but you know, and obviously don't share anything that would affect the case. But yeah, she says no, nothing at all.
Yeah, nothing at all. That's too bad.
I'm sure we'll get there, Irene. We'll get there.
I'm sure she's just beside herself, waiting for something to come up.
Yeah. Nothing has been said. Well,
that's not good.
No. Okay. Well, I wanted to go back to what was she? Because she had she said before she's talking about he's in foster care. Jeremy. Okay, there it is. So she's talking about Jeremy. She said he's in foster care. And then she said, before I aged out, I remember seeing him at a home in the KBC office in Olathe talking about Jeremy.
Oh, wow.
Meg's our guest from tonight, right?
Yeah.
She needs a podcast. She knows all these people, Ricky. She could do a podcast she could do a show from the perspective of somebody from foster care. Because obviously, we talked to her tonight. I didn't know they had that much, support leaving the system, and apparently it sounds like you have to earn it a little bit, which but it sounds like, you know, you have the potential to have some good, you know, going to school, stuff like that. You have like some good starting points. So, but anyway, yeah, I think her doing I enjoyed hearing her talk about, you know, just her side of the story, you know, because we don't know anything about it at the end of the day. We can sit here and speculate and think all day, but we don't know anything. Irene, you want to go ahead and pin that Irene comment? I'm gonna get his flyer back up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said doesn't answer their calls. The KBI. Oh wow.
That's interesting.
You know, I used to be really upset by the lack of communication with, you know, KBI and victims' families. I was close personal friends with the mother of a homicide victim, and she ended up not liking me because she thought I was kind of crude and stuff on Facebook, which I get 100%. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, she has been dealing with the KBI for 50 plus years, trying to get answers on her daughter's case, and they're very vague. You know, they're very vague with what they tell her. And I realize it's because, one, they can't jeopardize the case. If they tell you something that's big deal stuff that's going to help them in the courtroom, and then that information gets put out there, could damage your case.
Right.
So I used to think that if law enforcement was, you know, not very forthcoming with information because they were like trying to be mean, but now I understand it's because they hold their cards very close to their vest. They have to. They can't release all the information, every detail out there, because then everybody knows. They only want them and the culprit to know the true story of what happened, and they want to get that out of that person. So it's a very frustrating process, but just keep believing. It sounds like they have some people in question. It sounds like some things are being asked, but as you know, these things could take forever to figure out. But just know that we're here for you, and we're gonna keep sharing Alexander's flyer, because if anybody has information, please contact the KBI. I do have their number at the bottom of the screen right now.
Right.
All right. Tell us about Justin Scott.
All right.
She said that is true. It takes a lot of time. It is. Just keep your head up. I mean, lack of communication. Like I said, I know a girl that a woman. She's a woman. She's been trying to get an answer out of KBI for 52 years. I might even be able to introduce you to her. Like I said, she's a little mad at me because I post things with curse words on Facebook. But she's old school, Ricky. But no, I mean, she knows what you're going through. I mean, it's hard to get information out of the people. But I like to believe at the end of the day that it's good. It's for good cause. They just want to keep their cards close. And we appreciate you showing up and reminding us every week that your son still needs answers.
Yeah, I'm looking at something here real quick. Okay, yeah, he's Justin Scott Sywick, that's what I'm guessing. Missing from Kansas City, Kansas since June 20th of 2021. He's 32 years old. He's 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighs 170 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen on Sunday, June 20th at the Days Inn located at 7721 Elizabeth Avenue in Kansas City, Kansas. Again, he's 32 years old, 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighs 170 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes, has a tattoo across his chest that says blessed. Justin was last known to be wearing a red tank top, similar to the center photo there, and khaki shorts. If you have any information regarding Justin's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, or you think you may have seen him or have any information regarding his case, please contact Detective Minnick with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-573-6036 or the TIPS hotline at 816-474-8477 and see if we can't help get him located.
We're going to go back and do a speed round because we are at an hour. We got to wrap this up. Tell us about, how do you pronounce it? Kaja? I love that name, how it's spelled.
Yeah, I want to say it's Kaja.
Whatever it is, that is a very unique name, and I think it's cool.
And Irene has made the comment down there that she appreciates everything you two have done for us. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Anything we can do to continue to help, we'll do.
I have a lot of questions about Pittsburg, Kansas. Anyway, tell your story. But I've been hearing a lot about Pittsburg, Kansas recently. Let's talk about Kaja.
Okay, she's missing from Pittsburg, Kansas, since June 18th of 2021. She's 16 years old, 5'7", 180 pounds, and has brown hair, brown eyes. Sorry about my phone. If you have any information regarding Kaja's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Pittsburg, Kansas Police Department at 620-231-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get some information generated as to where Kaja may be.
Right.
Yeah. And that's Meg, our guest tonight. She's messaging me on Camille's inbox. She's saying Kaja was in foster care as well. She remembers her.
See, she needs a podcast. She knows everybody.
Yeah.
She knows everybody.
Yeah.
Kaja. Well, yeah, Pittsburgh, let us know. But yeah, man, I'm gonna do some research on Pittsburgh. I've just been hearing so much about Pittsburgh, and it's just, I don't know. My dad, my birth father lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so that's why every time I see Pittsburgh, Kansas, my brain kind of does a little bit of a what? Like, you know, a dog turns their head sideways. I'm like, huh? Yeah. Pittsburgh. Oh, Kansas? What? We have a Kansas? We have a Pittsburgh in Kansas? Let's talk about Kayla Titus.
All right.
Hutchinson, Kansas.
Yeah, and we actually, the first time we covered her, it was out of Wichita, but now it's Hutchinson. Since June 29th of 2021, she's 15 years old, 5'5", 140 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed that she may be with an adult male or males, excuse me, either in Wichita or Hutchinson. Her brown hair was last known to be dyed red now. Want to make that little note there. If you have any information regarding Kayla's disappearance, you know of her whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2816 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And again, I apologize for the sneeze. It's odd because I haven't sneezed much all day long today, and then tonight all of a sudden here they come.
Do you have a fever?
No. Nope, I don't.
So it's just some allergies, you're sure?
Yeah. Saturday night, Sunday morning, I had a sore throat, was sneezing my head off.
Did we already cover Kaja?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. No, when did we cover?
Right before Kayla.
No, this one. How do you spell? Kadia?
Oh, could I don't know, Kadia or?
Okay, I thought. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
You're getting me all confused. Don't do that.
Well, they go in alphabetical order, and I don't even mean to do that, but maybe I should spice it up and mix them up.
Okay, and she is missing from Topeka, Kansas since June 14th of 2021. She's 13 years old, 5'6", 204 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed Kadia is still in Topeka. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get her located and back to where she needs to be. Man.
And then we're going to go lightning round a little bit more. We're going to talk about Linda Dillard Kleinbell.
Okay.
Next, missing out of Table Rock, Nebraska.
Yep, we're going up to Nebraska for that one. Since June 16th of 2021, she's 55 years old, 5 foot tall, 130 pounds, brown hair, might possibly be dyed blonde, and blue eyes. She was last seen about 3:30 in the morning on June 16th. She was last believed to be on foot, and she does have ties to Hiawatha, Kansas area. If you have any information regarding Linda's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Richardson County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office at 402-245-2479 or the Pawnee County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office at 402-852-2969 and see if we can't help get her located. And hopefully she's safe wherever she is at.
I love it. Our audience is like, Khadijah, boys. Jay Oliver's like, Khadijah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry about
trying.
that.
We're trying.
Yeah.
There's so many unique spellings with so many. Like I work at a call center, so every day somebody's like, my name is like, they say their name like Khadijah. I'm just like, please spell that because I know that it's very unique, and I am the worst speller in the world.
I do want to say a quick thank you to the Richardson County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office because they are sharing our flyer on their Facebook.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So I do want to thank them for that.
That's pretty
awesome.
Cool.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
Let's talk about Lipsy Mendoza.
I've done flyer for her before in the past too. It's been a while, but I have been missing since June 24th of 2021 from Topeka, Kansas. She's 18 years old. She's 5'5", 115 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed she may still be in Topeka or she might be in the Junction City, Kansas area. If you have any information regarding Lipsy's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her located and back to where she needs to be. At the very least, make sure she's safe. I mean, she is 18, but so I mean, as long as they know she's all right.
Yeah, Lipsy, text somebody this, hey, I'm safe.
Get a hold of Topeka PD, let them know what's going on so they know you're all right.
Right. Let's talk about Lloyd McGee III. Now, I feel like have we just covered this recently or have we covered him in the past?
We've covered him before and he was recovered and he's missing again. So here we are again. Lloyd McGee III missing from Lawrence, Kansas since June 12th of 2021. He's 13 years old, 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 135 and 145 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. It's believed he may still be in the Lawrence area or he may be in the Kansas City, Missouri area. If you have any information regarding Lloyd's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department at 785-832-7509 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get him found and back to where he needs to be again.
13's young, even though this guy doesn't really look 13.
Yeah.
He looks more grown up than I did when I was 13. But you're 13. Like, you should.
Yeah, I first saw his pictures and I was like, he's 13, really?
Right.
Mustache and everything. I was like, whoa.
So, we see all these kids on here, they're like 13, 14 with mustaches, man. I'm like, man, I was like 21 when I had
right? And that was
healthy
me.
Mustache.
Yeah, it's me.
Let's talk about Matthew Messer. Pittsburgh, another Pittsburgh, Kansas. I'm telling you, man, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, he's been missing from Pittsburgh, Kansas since June 23rd of 2021. He's 15 years old, 5'8", weighs 155 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen about 5:30 in the morning on June 23rd. It's believed that he may be with Matthew Barnes, who is also considered missing endangered. Matthew is 15 years old, 5'8", 155 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Matthew's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Pittsburgh, Kansas Police Departat 620-231-1700 or their tips hotline at 620-231-8477 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him located. Hopefully
another case we've covered a couple times. We have Nancy Miller.
Yeah, and that was actually telling Derek before the show I had to go back and delete her previous flyers because they had different missing since dates on, and I was not notified she'd ever been found, so I had to go back and wipe all them out and do the new one. So
that's always a good sign, though, that they've been found before.
Yeah. Been missing since April 1st of this year. She's 16. She's 5'9" to 6 foot tall, 150 pounds, light brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed she may still be in the local Wichita area. She has a tattoo on her forearm, chest, and left hand. She also has her nose and ears pierced. If you have any information regarding Nancy's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her found and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can.
Let's talk about.
I think by my count we have about maybe 3 more to go.
3 more. We have Nevaeh up next out of Wichita, Kansas. Pretty young, 14. You guys are way too young to be running off.
Yeah, since June 25th, 2021. Again, she's 14, 5'4", 130 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen in her family home on June 25th at approximately 6 o'clock in the evening. If you have any information regarding Nevaeh's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Keep your eyes open, Wichita. 14-year-old missing. Never good. That is really young. Not a good situation. If anybody sees Nevaeh, contact the police. 14 is just too young to be out in Wichita. We see a lot of Wichita, people that are young out there by themselves, and makes me nervous. I don't want to be in Wichita alone. Not that Wichita's a terrible place, but it's just there's a lot going on. It's a big city,
Yeah, we just discussed a lot about what was going on earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in a big metropolis like that. Let's talk about Sarah Nicole Perkins.
This one is an Ohio case, actually. And okay, here we go. She's been missing since June 25th of 2021, 17 years old, 5'2", 113 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It is believed that she snuck out to go to a hotel with overage people, possibly 20 to 21-year-olds. She was last seen in the Franklin, Ohio area, but could possibly be in the Springboro, Ohio area. Excuse me. She has a small tattoo of the words "Love You More" with an infinity sign on the inside of her right arm. If you have any information regarding Sarah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Carlisle, Ohio Police Department at 937-425-2525 and see if we can help get her home. I know her dad is frantic with worry, and so is her mom. Her dad's been posting just about daily on his Twitter under @MikeyPerk on Twitter. And I just know he's going frantic. And so is her mom, because I have briefly spoke with her mom on Messenger. So and she thanked me for making the flyer and everything, and she said they just want her home. So
yeah, that's scary. Go to a hotel party and missing.
And the thing that disgusts me about it is I saw on Mikey Perk's Twitter where some idiot has posted on their YouTube channel a video, and it's titled "Last Moments of Sarah Perkins." How is that phrase? Last moments of Sarah Perkins's life caught on video or something like that. And basically it's somebody with a chainsaw hacking up a mannequin.
What?
Yeah. Cutting the limbs off a mannequin and stuff.
That's creepy.
Yeah. I saw that and I'm like, you've got to be freaking seriously kidding me that somebody. And I guess that's not the first time that. I guess that's not the first time, because when he posted that on his Twitter, he said another video. So I don't know what the first one was, but that was the second one, I guess. And I just was like, I commented on it, and I said, the police department needs to investigate that, and if not the police department, the FBI, and find out who's doing that, and just charge them with something,
right?
Whether mental duress or cyberbullying or something, they need to be charged with something, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, here you got, two parents worried to death about their daughter, and somebody's pulling some stupid crap like that.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. And I've seen he has some kind of a stream that he does, and he's been using his stream platform to keep people updated with his daughter's disappearance and stuff. And there's been a lot of times he's literally been in tears the whole time he's been talking on these streams. And I couldn't imagine. I mean, it's been a week now, and she's still missing, and he's frantic.
Right. Well, I mean, anybody posting stuff like that's not cool. That's like really creepy.
So if anybody has any friends or family up there in the Ohio area, share the crap out of it up there. Just share the crap out of it. Let's get her found.
We have one more case, y'all. This is another youngster, 12-year-old, Wichita, Kansas, Sladen Capps. Tell us about Sladen.
Yeah. Been missing since June 26th of 2021. He is 12 years old, 5'4", 125 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes, and he was last seen at approximately 9 o'clock in the morning on the 26th of June. Guinea's 12, 5'4", 125 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. If anybody has any information regarding Sladen's disappearance or of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get him found and back to where he needs to be. I mean, being 12 and being out there, being 15, 16, 17, that's bad enough, but to be 12...
Yeah.
And to be missing nearly a week, that's not good.
Not good. Not good. Too many young people missing in the state of Kansas right now. Not even to say we went all over, but that is our caseload tonight, everybody. We got a little bit more talking to do. We're going out to quite a few people right now on this lovely Thursday night. Lovely Thursday night. We're broadcasting to you live from Salina, Kansas, and Phoenix, Arizona. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Yep, always good to see the located safe reel.
Am I crazy, or was Kayla Titus in the located safe reel?
She was. That was her previous, but she is still actively missing. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Dawn Armstrong, she brings up that human trafficking. I wonder if any were found in that raid. I wonder the same thing. And like I said, I don't know if we'll ever hear of any names of the juveniles because they are juveniles. But, I hope that some of them were so we could, get them off the list if we find out who they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we did have one located deceased this week. That Keegan Oyugi, he was initially from Wichita but living in Minnesota. They found his vehicle. I can't remember exactly where it was found, but it looked like it was a single vehicle accident, and he perished in that accident. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends, as they mourn the loss of Keegan, as he was an outstanding basketball player in his high school days in Wichita. And
You know, right now what we do is about every few months we do a located deceased reel, but I'd like to dig deeper on those. Maybe have a few of their loved ones send us some videos for the located deceased reel. You know, maybe get to know these people a little bit. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, we're sharing flyers, and sometimes there's some really dark outcomes. But these are people. You know, like these are real people that have real friends, real problems, and. Yeah. You know, I think we should get to know these the located deceased people because, you know, they can't tell their story anymore. We should tell that story for them. You know,
that'd be a good idea. I like that idea. So if any friends or family of any of the ones that we've posted that are located deceased, if you want us to, you know, kind of give some background of who they were and the kind of people they were, just let us know, and we'll when we do the next located deceased reel, we'll do something like that. I like that idea.
Well, This has been a great show.
Really good show. Really good show. I'm impressed by it. I'm really glad that Omega joined us tonight. And Omega, if you're still watching, thank you again. Appreciate it. I really do. Right. That was awesome. I'm glad you reached out to me. I really am. It's not too often that I get to speak to folks that I've made flyers for. It's
right. She was awesome, and I'm telling you, like, she needs to do something. She needs to go into some kind of advocacy for foster children because she knows the whole system. Like, she knows all about that. She knows half the kids that we talked about. She's like, oh, I know them.
Right.
Oh, I know them. Like she could have a future in you know, advocacy. I mean, people always love to hear. You know, success stories from people who were in it. You know, that's a big motivator. If somebody's telling me something about how they overcame something and they actually lived through it, then that means a lot to me.
Right. And Dawn's saying she agrees 100% and hope they do. Let us know if any were found in the raid. Yeah, I would like to hear, you know, if some of our missing were found in that raid, but like I said, being that they're juveniles, I don't know if they will actually release names or not. But hopefully we'll see. Just have to wait and see what happens.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, I do want to thank everybody tonight for joining us. And we ran late and ran a little long, but that's all right. Just share the show out and encourage everybody to watch the replay and things like that. And we appreciate all the shares, the views, the reshares, you know, and all that good stuff. Our next show is going to be, let's see, today is the 1st of July. So our next show is going to be on the 6th of July, my daughter's birthday.
Why don't you go ahead and just flip it right now? Just flip it. It's not June, Ricky.
I know it.
You don't have to do it right now, but when we get off the air, before we hang up tonight, you're flipping that calendar.
Hey, I was too busy looking for stupid snakes, all right?
Yeah. By the way, if you missed the first part of the show, Ricky, his daughter found some snakes in the yard and brought them inside and lost them. So Ricky's gonna sleep with 2 live snakes just somewhere in his house.
2 little tiny garter snakes. If I can just figure out where they hid.
We'd just burn it down and start over.
If it was my house, I would. Because I'm only renting, I can't. So.
Oh man, that's scary.
Yeah, not my favorite thing in the world, that's for sure. But anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. We will see you on July 6th. Until then, stay safe. God bless. Take care, and we will see you next week.
Well, I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought, and a person the way that I talk, and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arm, to this playful assault, to this race in this arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the crown fits, wear it, the crown fits. If the crown fits,